Okay, so if you haven't already done so, you can check the chat again. We're keeping links moving there as we move through our individual lessons. And this lesson is an exercise on the living word. So would someone volunteer to read the bottom part of the page? We are a gathering, and we'll come back to the exercise after that. Maybe Janet, would you be willing to read it for us?
Okay, it's not what's showing on the screen. I need to go to
Okay,
my
let me do it.
worksheet.
And if it's difficult for this particular one, no worries. I can read and then we'll come back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and read.
Sure.
We are a gathering of ordinary people practicing deep introspection and doing shadow work to come to know ourselves and solve everyday problems. When we are not at peace, there is something we do not understand. Our inquiry is based on the idea that the word is alive and that language is where our power lives. Communication is not what is said and done, but the result of what is said and done. By joining in, engaging, and coming back, we increasingly benefit from the distilled essence of the path of Golden XPR, a method of inquiry that is ultimately credible and universal as it is based on the languaging of sacred geometry. Each time we engage in this form of unlearning, we feel the understanding that there is only one of us. Each time we read the signs, the cosmos rejoices as we become more real by discovering the secret to the sense of enough, honesty. And perhaps prior to going to the exercise, does anyone have something you'd like to share about what either is a question or something that touched you?
For me, the word universal really popped out after that lesson that we had. I mean, I grew up Mormon, so not only were there, there's just all kinds of lines in the sand when it comes to religion. And of course, we all believe in God, but Hebrew was always like part of Judaism, which I just didn't realize. Anyway, I'm just starting to realize that it's more universal than I realized, and that's how we come together is understand the origin.
Thank you, Janet.
Beautiful.
One thing that popped out for me was with the second line where it says, when we are not at peace, there's something that we do not understand. And I feel that even with not understanding, I have to sit and be with the uncomfortable emotions too, and find peace about when I don't understand something.
Lovely. And isn't that understanding right there? When I'm uncomfortable, I sit with it until I can find peace. That is a whole lot of wisdom.
Indeed. And to anchor this into an exercise, if you would now, Maha, perhaps stop sharing the screen. And what we'll do is give 4 or 5 minutes, actually 5 minutes, to begin to journal your responses to some related questions to what the idea of the living word may be. So we'll take 5 minutes and you'll hear an alarm in just a bit.
Is that the last link you have shared?
Yes.
Okay.
It's exercise the living word.
Okay.
Couple more minutes. All right. So how was that? Anybody have any revelations like to share?
I'll share. What I got from that is basically if you can't surrender, you create a control drama where you think that, when you surrender, you're able to receive something bigger than you and do the thing that you're supposed to do with that. But the moment that you can't be silent, you're not surrendering. And then for me, I create a control drama, which then creates even more like shame over my suffering. And the control drama is really painful. Yeah.
Mm. Thank you, Amanda. That's beautiful.
I kind of see things visually. And so earlier when we were saying that there's something that we do not understand, it like immediately I saw like my shadow, which is like hiding in the hallways, right? And it's hiding so much that I don't even know that it's there. And so I have all this noise going on because I'm not willing to be silent. And I feel like even deeper, my religious background kind of told me to be afraid of that. So it's more of like, what am I afraid to understand? What am I not willing to understand? Not even just that I don't understand it. It's like, it's layers deep. So instead, so I pictured myself being silent enough. So I sat on the couch enough to listen for where the shadow is. And then I invited the shadow to like sit down with me. So it was more like, this is a universal language and I have to do a lot more listening and understanding the shadow and asking it questions and not be afraid of it. So I think for me, it came out that there was like a lot of fear around acknowledging that I have shadows that are hiding.
That's so courageous to mention that, and very true as well. So we can just invite it in baby steps,
Yeah, it's almost precisely what the next page is about, Maha, because this, Janet, you almost predicted it. It's like,
Oh,
Let's go for it.